It was a dark, rainy night when Sarah moved into the old cottage at the edge of town. The locals spoke little of it, but their eyes always seemed to avoid hers when she asked about it. They whispered of strange happenings in the house, but Sarah was undeterred. She needed a fresh start. The house was cold, even with the fire crackling in the hearth. The air was damp, and the wooden floors creaked under her feet. As Sarah unpacked, she noticed an old portrait hanging crookedly on the wall. It was a painting of a woman, her eyes unnervingly lifelike, staring directly at Sarah. She couldn't shake the feeling that the woman's gaze followed her around the room. That night, Sarah lay in bed, unable to sleep. A soft tapping noise echoed through the house. Tap, tap, tap. At first, she thought it was the wind or the house settling, but then it grew louder, more insistent. The tapping was coming from the wall next to her bed. Trembling, she got up and pressed her ear to the cold wall. Silence. But as soon as she turned to leave, the tapping resumed, this time much closer. It was coming from inside the wall. Frantically, Sarah searched the house for the source. She found nothing unusual until she opened the door to the basement. The air was thick with decay, and an old wooden chest sat in the corner, partially hidden by dust and cobwebs. Her heart pounded as she slowly approached it. Inside the chest was an old journal, its pages stained and brittle. As Sarah read, she discovered it belonged to the woman in the portrait. The journal spoke of whispers in the walls, scratching, and a growing sense of being watched. The last entry read, "They are inside. They want me to stay." Suddenly the tapping stopped, but a voice, faint and desperate, whispered from the walls, "You can never leave." The house was silent once again, but Sarah was never seen again. The house remains, waiting for the next tenant.